Hello again. Here's my tutorial for singling out a subject such as a sculpture and getting rid of the distracting background. So I'm going to go ahead and put myself out of the way. Of course, I'm working in Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, it's worth it. You can do so much with it. And yes, there are online editing softwares that are free, but they don't do the things that I like them to do. So I'll just show you in Photoshop. So let's see, I'm going to open up one of our sculptures. And here's Rachel's. So I would choose one that is already a good position so I don't have to change anything. Like this one I think is perfect. So I'm going to open that in Photoshop. And then way up here, hopefully you can see what I'm doing and then we're not like glitching out too much. I'm going to go to Select and Subject. So hopefully it will select the subject. And it's done a pretty good job. It's picked out, you know, mostly what it figures is like in the center, and you know, that must be the subject of this photograph. And but I see we're missing some parts. So what we need to do now is go to the magic wand. No, that's not magic wand. It's magnetic lasso. So you see how it says a little plus sign up there by my little tool. Up here you can select to add. You can select to subtract. And this one is intersection, which I've never really used, but anywho, make sure it's on add. And then I'm going to go, I could actually zoom in by Command plus or Control plus, or you know, whatever your zooming method is. You can also zoom in right on Photoshop. And that's down here in the left. It's not really showing it in this screen, but it is there, I promise. So you can zoom in. Alright, so here we have a missing antenna. So I'm going to go ahead with my lasso. And it's magnetic, so it's going to go right along where I want it to go. Selecting the edge of something. And when I get that piece I want, I'm going to double click. So you see how it's added that selection to the little selected area, which you know we call marching ants. This one right here, I can get that one. So this is actually quite a complicated subject, but yes, we can still do it. Double click, there we go. And looks like we're missing a whole leg over here. So I'm just doing it really quickly. I mean, if we were going to be perfectionists in the matter, then I might go slower and take my time, but just for the sake of a quick tutorial, and I just, you know, I'm going along the edges of this object and double clicking each time I'm finished. Okay, so it looks like I've got everything selected okay, doesn't it? Okay, so everything's selected. Now we have some things we need to get rid of. So we're going to go to subtract. So that we get it right around the edges. So here we go. Here's one little piece we don't need. Double click. And it's, you know, it's not a perfect thing. We might need to go back in and erase some things, and that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it being too perfect because I know it's super easy to erase. Okay, here we've got, ooh, we got this huge thing going on, so let's get rid of that. Hope and pray. So it is, you know, it's not a perfect system like I said, but it is, like, if you're not able to retake a photo, like I know that Michael had a problem. He had already taken apart the sculpture that he made and reused the materials for another sculpture. And so it was something that was necessary. We had to use the original photo. Let's see, I think I'm going to go back to what I had originally and not worry. I'll just erase this part. Okay, so now I've got to go to Select, Inverse, and I'm going to delete. So here's what I've got left. And look at that nice white background. Do you see what I'm saying? Great. And I've pulled that subject out of all of that information. And what I've got left is really not too bad to get rid of. So first I'm going to select deselect. So now I don't have to worry about anything being selected, and it will only work on that area. And I'm going to, like, say I want my background to be black instead of white. I want to select this little black square down here, and then I can paint bucket it. And they hide paint bucket now for some odd reason. Paint bucket. They've hidden it so far it's not even in the help. So I can just do a quick paintbrush. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to reselect so I don't cover up anything in that area. I've got my black selected. Okay. And I'm going to get my paintbrush. I'm going to make it a giant, enormous paintbrush. So I go fast. And, ooh, that's big. See the size of that thing? Yeah, that's pretty big. Okay, so see now, I can go ahead and do some painting with a giant brush. And this is just if I wanted to go black. And I could, it's not going to hurt anything that I have selected. Do you see? Isn't that great? Selection tool is awesome. And if I find I've covered up something I want, then, you know, I'll go just step back. Okay, so now I've got most of it black. I think I better move myself out of the way to get to that. Okay. Alright, now I can deselect. And I can go and just cover up the big things I want to cover up. So I think I said erase earlier, but paintbrush does work a little better. And then you can go bracket on your keyboard to make it smaller. Left bracket makes it smaller. Right bracket makes it bigger. Or we can go the little menu up here and do it there too. And then once I get the big stuff, I can zoom in and go smaller and get those little things out of the way. So it's really not too terrible. You see what I'm saying? So even if you only have one picture of your object and you had to make that picture work, as in Michael's case, you certainly can do it. And this is, like I said, an extremely difficult subject. It's got a lot going on. it's still not too difficult to do in Photoshop. It's really like 5 minutes of work. We can all handle 5 minutes of work to get a perfect image of our artwork. So that's what we want. And then I would just go smaller and smaller until I get all this gone. Now, say I feel like, I cut off too much there. Just edit, undo, and there it is again. It's right back at you. You can also make the brush harder or softer, so then you don't have to worry so much about getting too close, because you see what it does? It kind of feathers the edge. But I do like a sharp edge myself for this purpose, so I'm going to keep it, you know, really precise, a hard brush, as they say. And I can make it really small. I can zoom in as close as I want to until I get it to perfection. And then here's another quick trick. If I get to this point, it pretty much knows what my subject is now. I can try selecting the subject again. Let's see what it gives me. Not that much better, is it? I thought I would be able to tell the difference by now, but apparently not. We gave it a shot. That will work if the color is very different. So say the thing that it's sitting on is white and our subject is red. Then it will have an easier time selecting the subject. So it's just a matter of refining your edges. And you can always go back and do it again. So I hope that this has helped some of you with refining your photography of your products, you know, of your artwork, or even products, you know, if you want to sell something online. I think it's really important to have just the product showing. Okay, so pretty good, right? All right, I hope that this has helped some of you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.